Hello to everyone, my name is Asel. I'm the student of the Faculty of International Relations, and today we have take-home open exam. I want you to get acquainted with the diplomatic protocol and the etiquette of the United States of America. And with that purpose, I want to share with you some brief and interesting information. So let's start. First of all, let's consider what is protocol. Protocol is an important part of diplomatic practice linked with the religion, language, history, culture, and royalty.
Protocol involves etiquette on a local and international scale and the practice of good manners on a daily basis. It evolved as a result of old traditions when in the early days of civilization hospitality was extended to an arriving guest. Today, it is particularly important because it not only covers the ceremonial rules that are followed during official functions and how to behave on the special occasions, but it also provides a set of established rules of courteousness that are to be respected in society. In international politics, protocol is the etiquette of diplomacy and affairs of state. It may also refer to an international agreement that supplements or amends a treaty. A protocol is a rule which describes how an activity should be performed, especially in the field of diplomacy. In diplomatic services and governmental fields of endeavor, protocols are often unwritten guidelines. Protocols specify the proper and generally accepted behavior in matters of state and diplomacy, such as showing appropriate respect to a head of state, ranking diplomats in chronological order of their accreditation at court, and so on. There are two meanings of the word protocol. In the legal sense, it is defined as an international agreement that supplements or amends a treaty. In the diplomatic sense, the term refers to the set of rules, procedures, conventions, and the ceremonies that relate to relations between states. In general, protocol represents the recognized and generally accepted system of international courtesy. So, the protocol and the etiquette are resources for proper conduct in unfamiliar settings, toolkits to leave a lasting good first impression and avoid giving offense, and a hallmark of sophistication. Ambassadors are addressed as Mr. or Madam Ambassador or Ambassador Jones. Only by special invitation or long friendship should one address an ambassador by first name, and then only when not in the public eye. In indirect address, refer to the ambassador as the ambassador, with his or her spouse as the ambassador and the Mr. Mrs. Jones, or if the ambassador's spouse is a woman who kept her maiden name after marriage, the ambassador and his wife Mrs. Smith. An ambassador of the United States may continue to be addressed as Mr. or Madam Ambassador after retirement or after returning from his or her duties abroad.
When referring the US post, the Embassy of the United States of America is more preferred than using the American Embassy. As references to America can be ambiguous, so in the Western Hemisphere it's better to avoid using American citizen, American ambassador, and etc. and better to use the United States of America.
A U.S. ambassador serving abroad symbolizes the sovereignty of the United States and serves as a personal representative of the President of the United States. Ambassadorial duties include negotiating agreements, reporting on political, economic, and social conditions, advising on policy options, protecting American interests, and coordinating the activities of all U.S. government agencies and personnel in the country. When making introductions to an ambassador, everyone but a chief of state is presented to him or her. In other words, the ambassador's name and title is stated first, then the person being introduced. An ambassador and his or her spouse precede all others when entering or leaving a room. The official place for the ambassador in the car is a backseat, curbside. His or her car is allowed to pass before all others. At ceremonies that take place on ships, the ambassador is the first to step on the deck and the first to step off, and at the airport ceremonies, he or she is the last to board and the first to disembark.
Diplomatic ranks can be confusing and unfamiliar. This list of ranks you may find in the Embassy of the United States of America.
When more than one ambassador is present in one country, their order of precedence is determined by the order in which they presented their credentials to the country's chief of state. All ambassadors defer to the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, a position earned by virtue of longevity as his or her country's representative. When a country has more than one ambassador posted to multiple missions, the order of precedence among them is determined by the customs of their country. Now let's consider social red flags, invitations, and responses. Cultural differences abound in issuing and responding to invitations. In most cases, the invitation will come addressed to all family members invited. If a spouse is not specifically named, he or she is probably not invited. It's inappropriate to bring a date to a working event. However, in some places, one invitation addressed to the family is meant to include everyone in the house. Responding is very important and should be done generally by phone within 2 days of receiving the invitation. Greetings and forms of address. You should follow the guidelines about greeting, addressing, and introducing someone in the formal international scene. You will need to learn about the local informal customs as well. Try to learn a few polite greetings in the native language that will get you through the casual social situations. You will also need to be aware of different greeting rituals such as kisses, handshakes, or bows. In some countries, for example, it is not uncommon to see men show affection. Tremendous differences exist in how close people stand to socialize, how loudly they speak, and how much eye contact they maintain. The best advice is to be observant and ask questions of the foreign service nationals and experienced officers at post. What about gifts? Even something as simple as bringing a gift to the host can be tricky. Many rituals and customs often surround the meaning of gifts. The type, color, and a number of flowers you bring, for example, may have a hidden meaning. A guest may be expected to bring a small gift, or it may be better to bring nothing at all. Once again, asking colleagues and co-workers about local customs will be most helpful. How to give a gift in America? When visiting someone, present the wrapped gift when you are first invited in and are greeting each other. Smile, look your host in the eye and say something like, "Thank you for inviting me. This gift, these flowers, this bottle of wine is for you," and hand them your gift. They will likely smile and thank you as they take the gift. If attending a party in someone's honor, there may be a designated table where you can leave your gifts. How to receive a gift in America. If someone gives you a gift, smile and look them in the eyes as you say something like, "How kind of you to think of me." If it's rapid and it's not an event where you would be expected to unwrap gifts later, you may ask, "Should I unwrap this now?" They may say yes please, or otherwise something like, "You can wait until later." If you do open the gift, make a positive comment. For example, "I always wanted one of these," or "What a beautiful color." Eating and drinking. To be polite, accept the food and drink that is offered. If unsure or a bit apprehensive, try a small portion. If you do not wish to drink alcohol, still take some to have in your glass for toasts. If you do drink, however, as US representative, you should drink responsibly so as not to embarrass yourself or your country. If for health or religious reasons you absolutely cannot try even a small portion of a particular food or drink, it is acceptable to refuse with a short explanation. Consider new foods and drinks an opportunity to explore the new culture. Try them in a good spirits and with an open mind. Formal entertaining. Both the guest of honor and other guests must know who has a place of honor. In the United States, the place of honor for a man is at the right of the hostess. For a woman, it is at the right of the host. However, in some countries, the place of honor is at the left of the host or hostess. The host and hostess can sit at opposite ends or across from one another at the same table.
In the United States of America, host of the diplomatic dinner often offers two toasts. One being a welcome toast to everyone in the room. This toast is usually offered after the first course is served to all the guests. Another toast to the guest of honor is offered at the end of the event. It's helpful to prepare your toast beforehand and to be brief.
To Her Majesty, the Queen, for the vitality of the special relationship between our peoples, and, in the words of Shakespeare, to this blessed plot, this earth, this realm, this England, to the Queen. To the Queen.
American table etiquette tips. The napkin. The dinner napkin should be taken from the table and place it on your lap when you sit down. Place the dinner napkin on your lap by unfolding it halfway with the fold facing your body. When the meal is over, the napkin should be casually folded from the center and place it on the left side of the plate. Or if the plate has already been removed, place the napkin in front of you. Leave your napkin on the chair when you leave the table during a meal. Do not place a napkin on a saucer under a cup. American style of eating. Hold the knife in the right hand and fork in the left to cut food. Then put the knife down and transfer fork to the right to lift food to the mouth, tines up. Lift the food to the mouth with the tines down. Cut no more than 2 pieces of food at a time.
When you're in conversation, knife and fork will be like so. When you're finished, 5 o'clock, that would tell the waitstaff that you have finished. Now, they won't pick your plate up until everyone is finished. Now, a lot of people don't know about the cross swords. A lot of people don't know, so you're not alone. That's when you're in conversation. When we finish again, 5 o'clock.